Okay, so we've already learned about the graphs of sine and cosine. But what about the other trigonometric functions? Let's look at the graph of tangent. Looks way different from the graphs of sine and cosine. But in reality, it's not that different. Let's graph it. So, sorry, that's a bad unit circle. The unit circle, so at pi over 4, at pi over 4 or 45 degrees, whichever unit you may choose, tangent is equal to 1. At 2 pi or 0 or 360 degrees, tangent is equal to 0. At pi over 2, tangent is equal to undefined. At 11 pi over 4, no, what is that? Alright, whatever. At here, at negative 45 degrees, it's negative 1. And at 3 pi over 2, it is at undefined. So graphed, it looks like this, with negative pi over 2, negative pi over 4, 0, pi over 4, pi over 2. Right, that's a negative 1 here, 0 here, and 1 here, and it's undefined here. So it'll look like this. And then it'll just repeat itself all over again, looking like that. So the period is pi, not 2 pi. So that's one difference between tangent has between sine and cosine functions. Another difference is the amplitude. So you see here, the range is negative infinity to infinity. So how can it have an amplitude? It doesn't really. An a tan of bx plus c plus d, that a here only really stretches the function. So if it was 2 tan of x, this right here, instead of being at 1, would be at 2. And this right here, instead of being negative 1, would be at negative 2. Stretching the function. Or shrinking it, depending on what the b variable is. So, we've already learned about the amplitude and the period of the tan function. We know that the amplitude just affects the stretch, and the standard period is pi. So if you're going to define from the function without the graph, to find the period, you just use pi, because it's the standard period instead of 2 pi over b. And likewise, not really likewise, the phase shift would be c over b, same as sine and cosine, and the vertical shift would still be d. So let's just, and okay, yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention one thing. Cotangent can also be subbed out for tan, except cotangent is graphed like this. In all the places where tan is 0, cotangent is undefined. In all the places where tangent is undefined, cotangent is 0. So at 2 pi would be undefined, and at pi would be undefined. And at here it would be 0, at here it would be 1, at here it would still be negative 1. So it would look like this. Sorry, this is pi over 4. This is 3 pi over 4. It's look like this. Alright, so pi over 4 is at 1. Here, pi over 2 is at 0. 3 pi over 4 is at negative 1. And at 0 and pi is undefined. So it looks something like this. So it's basically just tangent but flip-flopped, like cotangent is. The period is still pi, this still applies to it. That's how it goes. So now let's graph some of these tan and cotangent functions.